That's what I actually sound like. Wow. What a disappointment. Hi, welcome to the zone. Welcome into here. Thanks for being here. Late clap. Should be unnecessary. Technically, I'd say we live in the time of that's unnecessary, the clap. You know what? There's ways to sync. We're still clapping. We're still clapping to sync. Give me a break, life. Hi, welcome to Daddy's Big Red Truck. My name is Michael James Jameson, and I'm a tambourine player who grew up in a musicalist household. And you're listening to the Executive Buffet with me and people I bring on here. It's Daddy's Big Red Truck. It's recorded live inside of a recreated truck simulator on the mezzanine level of a downtown hotel that has a lot of brass, a lot of steel, a lot of, there's no wood. There's no wood at all. Maybe a little bit of wood in the dining area, and there's beautiful chafing dishes. It's just a wonderful experience. Thank you for being here inside of that zone. Come see me live in Toronto, December 6th and 7th at Comedy Bar. I think I'm gonna go no mic that show. You're gonna want to be there for that. Hands fucking free. Otherwise, you can check everything out. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast on all the places that you do that. If you're watching on YouTube, do all the stuff. Just support. Just spend so much of your energy supporting something. And do all that stuff and engage with my content on a level that is insanely. It seems absurd, the level that you're engaging. Your wife's like, "What are you doing in there?" It's like, I'm trying to engage with this content I've been asked to engage with. Maybe it's not your wife. Maybe it's your brother. Maybe it's your daughter. It could be all kinds of relationships who they're wondering, "What are you doing in there?" And you can say, "You're engaging with the content." My guest today is a wonderful person I've known for a long time, super accomplished, hilarious, just like, a true diamond in the field of rocks. I'll say that. You know him as Kyle Kinane. That's what I know him as, too. Here he is. Now,
Together, live in the same room as we exist here now.
wow, that sounds pretty good.
Tripping balls.
We're good. I love it.
I'm about. Is it? Do you have you been there for Halloween already?
About 5 years, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It goes crazy.
Are the kids in costumes they want to be in, or is it showbiz parents?
I think it's
throwing outfits.
This is gold. We can't just.
You want to just roll? Just roll on
we're
it, dude.
rolling.
Roll on it.
That's my method. Just roll.
I didn't research anything. What are we?
So this is a purely political podcast. We talk about.
Oh, good. No, there's been a lot on my mind.
We talk only about politics exclusively.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Hopefully international.
International, mainly south of the equator. We're talking a lot
Okay.
about
Good.
Southern Africa. We're talking about
them down low, overthrown regimes.
Yeah, Australia. We'll do a lot of Australia stuff.
Oh yeah, man, a lot going down there. Or
Is it-
Halloween.
Oh, when did it clap? Okay. Is it in focus though? Is everything in focus? Okay, good. Yeah, we get like so many trick or treaters. It's insane. Like we get a lot of little kids and stuff. It's not Hollywood. It's not what you're thinking about. It's not like my kid's dressed up as. Wasn't it funny how my kid is zombie Trump? It's not that.
Okay.
It's not that shit.
Because I had a lot of Halloween costumes as a kid that was like my parents thought it was
Really?
a good
Like
idea.
what?
Some of them were they were like racist.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, now is the time to tell it because
I
the
guess.
statute of limitations.
All right,
is
it was a
over.
different time, all right? It was a different
Yeah.
time, Let me
mean,
say that on behalf of my parents.
Technically, every year is a different time.
I mean, that's how
So-
time works.
Yeah.
It's also a man-made construct. So,
Oh, hell yeah. That's what I tell.
is it a flat circle? I never understood what that meant when everybody was excited about
Yeah. It's
True
all because
Detective.
Matt McConaughey just sold it. We're all
Time's
like,
a flat
yeah,
circle.
time's a flat
It
circle.
really is. Like, what? Do you know what he meant?
Yeah.
I thought they were angels. That was my theory on True Detective.
They were angels?
I thought they were like angels that were like bad at it.
They were bad, like Michael?
Yeah, like they were like kept fucking up.
Yeah.
You know, they kept
That would have been a
sinning.
better version of it, I think.
But they were trying to like do good in the world, but
Yeah.
they kept like failing. And I'm like,
It did.
and I was also, when did did that come out during the
it's-
pandemic? I think I was just getting
no.
real high and watching it. My plan was like, I was gonna
2012?
what?
Wow, okay.
Hey man, time's
Yeah.
man-made construct. You know,
Time
it's
is
not real.
man-
Maybe it came out
We're
whenever
also
I said it
just-
came out.
We're also just so old at this point that I started saying,
Speak for yourself, dude. I feel great.
well, I'm not saying how I feel. I feel fucking awesome.
Oh, well, now
That's
you use that
different.
man-made
you
construct
look, you
of
look
time.
Great.
Thank you,
Are you
buddy.
doing a lot of
Likewise.
biking and stuff? What are you doing? What's
Bike-
your regime? Your regimen?
I'm real, very suburban. It's
So,
awesome, dude.
What do you
I
mean, like
love
getting a lot of rest?
Yeah, I do tinker, a lot of tinkering and putzing.
Right?
Are you tinkering and putzing?
Are you kidding me? I putz around so much. It's kind of
What's your main go-to putts?
weeds.
Oh, really?
I go in
You're a
the
yard.
yard.
You're a yard guy.
If I'm coming out, sometimes I'll have my backpack on and I'm bending over picking weeds with my fucking backpack on. It's
Oh,
like
really?
kids are walking home from high school and I'm like, hi, I'm pulling fucking
This
weeds.
one's got to go.
I have these weeds that are just driving me fucking crazy.
Do you already have like a OCD and the weeds are fulfilling that urge, or is it just the weeds are like a self, like they're their own
It's-
thing? You're
it's
a yard.
definitely
You're
the-
just a yard guy.
It's definitely the first thing. It's like a thing where they're never gonna stop.
Mm.
I'm always gonna be plucking at them and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's sort of an OCD thing, I suppose. It's more of just like, I don't know. Like it's something to do. Is that OCD? Is something to do? Is that all it is?
No, I think that's just but we're living like how like guys that will like or people that will work their whole life,
Yeah.
and then they're scared to retire because they don't know what to do. We're already there.
Could you mean we've always been there?
Yeah, if you get to do the stuff like comedy or acting or
Yeah.
something, like you work, but then here's 3 weeks of just
Oh my god.
fill your time up
I remember that
with
when
rearranging things around the house.
when the strike happened, I was thinking like, oh, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I've been on strike for 15 years.
Yeah.
You know what
Oh,
I mean?
stay home?
Yeah.
Stay home and noodle? No problem.
Because it's like so much of my time is waiting between things or like,
Yeah.
I don't have any problem with that.
Is
at
there a
all.
guitar in every room that I could play the first 10 notes to
You do
Yellow
that?
Ledbetter and that's it? You know it. Better make sure this one's tuned.
Is that your setup at home right now?
Yeah, I got lots
Damn,
of
man.
guitars, lots of bikes.
Are you like kind of isolated suburban? Or are you like suburban? Like you know your neighbors well? You see them every day?
I just moved in there beginning of this year, but it's still Portland.
Yeah.
But it's I live around a lot of old people, which is
Me too.
fine.
yeah.
I got no problem.
What about the leaf blower quotient? What's it like there?
Nothing.
Are you serious?
I don't do the weeds. Like I'm
Right.
not touching this. I got a very tiny front yard, but like shrubs that I don't know what to do with, and I'm
Okay.
also not home. I got
Right.
a
Then
guy. I got a guy.
You got a guy, but I mean, do you hear leaf blowers regularly?
Wednesdays, the one guy does everybody's little house in the area,
Really?
and then he's gone.
Damn.
The leaf blower thing,
That's LA.
it's torture, like truly a level of torture. In with all the other ingredients of the sound assault that is in LA,
It's
of dogs and helicopters, and
I like helicopters. I like the sound of helicopter. I do. When
I
I, hear
don't-
the sound, when I hear a helicopter, I'm like, this is nice. It makes me feel relaxed. A perfect world, this is perfect world. Every night when I'm about to go to sleep, a bunch of helicopters would be hovering, and I would sleep so well.
that's your white noise. Is police helicopters?
basically,
The
'cause
sound of safety. The sound of LAPD
I mean,
coverage.
Jesus Christ, calling that white noise is insane. That's my white noise.
That's my tax dollars. That's the
Yeah.
sound of my tax dollars doing their job,
You know what
and
I
I
think
can
it
rest
is?
easy knowing I'm safe.
I think it's just the sound of it. It is like Overwatch, like you're sort of being, if you were in a bunker in like the barracks in overseas as
Yeah.
a enlisted man.
You know they're keeping. I used to.
Yeah.
The 101 was always like it was far enough away that it's the ocean. Like it's
Yeah,
just
it does-
the sound of the ocean. Have you ever been in the spotlight of the chopper? You ever get that
One
superstar?
time. I was
Everybody
so
gets
excited.
a superstar moment.
I had this great joke I've only done one time. I always forget about it, but like how, because I used to masturbate on the roof of my old apartment when I first moved. Wait. Okay, let me back this up. Okay.
Oh, I don't think you can. I don't think you can.
I can back it. I can explain it because I lived.
Give it a shot.
I lived in a.
Go for it.
I lived in a one-bedroom apartment with two other guys, so there was literally no privacy. No
what about the
privacy.
bathroom?
Because that's like right there, and you know what I mean. But you go to the roof, and it's like that's like my spot. I can go to the roof at night.
This
There's
is
like
Johnny Pemberton's
places to
Under the
hide.
Banner of Heaven. This is your own version.
Oh my God, Under the Banner of Heaven. I reference that book so much.
Under the
People
Beat
haven't
Off of
read it.
Heaven.
Yeah. But imagine if you're up there on the roof jacking off and you get shined by the helicopter and you have the world's greatest orgasm. It's like from then on, it's like, oh, fuck. I can't come unless the cops are shining me with their cop.
Oh,
their
like you're
copter
worried
light.
about what's become the fetish?
Yeah, it's so good, but it's unrepeatable. It's like a thing where you'd have to start committing crimes in order
to feel the thrill?
Yeah, to feel the thrill. Like you're getting shined. And they see you, and they're thinking, well, it's obviously not this guy. We're not looking for this guy.
How many times a night do they see that?
Oh, my God. They must see it all the
Another
fucking
actor
time.
living in a studio just moved here. Probably split a small space. Oh, man. I commend you on the ability to focus. There's
inside
too
the
many
light of the
distractions.
chopper?
No, just outside. Too many distractions.
I mean, I was in my 20s. And
that's true.
It's the kind of thing where it was like, it needed to happen.
Yeah, the devil's in me.
Yeah, the devil. I
gotta get the poison.
I can't function with this poison.
I always, that was my joke about how the moving here and people move here to become famous, and there's that split second when the helicopter light hits you and you're like, I'm a star, and then they're like, it means there's a wanted man very nearby.
Yeah, a star of something. It's not a star of stage and screen,
I
but
better
a star
get inside.
star of street and roof.
Yeah.
A star of.
I used to always have them by my place, and when I lived across from the Red Lion pub, and they were always
They were
always over there. Yeah,
That's not a very dicey area though. Or maybe
I
it's
mean, in
changed, I guess.
2010, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was.
So I lived in Hollywood, like shitty Hollywood, East Hollywood. That was Chopper City.
That's
man.
where our place is now. We live
Really?
in the fucking worst spot, and it's all construction or it's shitty buildings that nobody's taking care of because they're going to be torn down for unlivable housing.
They couldn't rent anyone. They couldn't find any spaces there.
Yeah, so it's like, we'll just wait until we get bought out. We got like whatever.
Well, so you have a
Typical
space here
stuff.
too.
Yeah, we got a place here. The place, Oregon.
Yeah, that's where
That's
you live.
That's the yard.
But you got to have a home.
Nice.
You got to have a base here. You ever hear people say that?
But you don't. Who cares? It's terrible here.
It is. No, it's
it
not.
is
It's
now.
great.
It what? But
Everybody
You're in
who
the
leaves. No,
you're in the valley. You're in the suburbs, and it's nice.
Everybody who
Hollywood's
leaves says that
terrible.
though. Everybody who leaves, like all my friends who moved to Austin, they're like, "Oh, the homeless people in LA." I go to Austin. I was there like 2 weeks ago. It's fucking loaded down.
Austin's terrible.
Austin's fucking
Austin's
dirty.
just as bad,
fucking
and it's
dirty.
also like shitty tech dudes. It's like what happened to San Francisco.
It's so over. There's way too many people there for how many stuff they have to service the people.
Yeah, it's not
It's
good.
definitely not better. It's better.
No.
Maybe like in a few factors.
If
but it's
you
not
hate legal weed and abortion, it's better.
that's right.
It's
They
better
don't
for
have- they don't
that.
have legal
it's
weed
better
there,
for
do
that.
they?
No, it's fuck or no gambling.
No liquor on Sundays either.
No liquor. Right?
Yeah, but that's the same as Minnesota. Was
Free
that way.
free estate in America, dude.
Yeah.
It's fucking Texas.
God,
It's
the fucking
ridiculous.
irony of that is incredible. All like the Texas stuff.
Well,
You guys used to be. Well, it's supposed to be libertarianism. You know, you're supposed to be do whatever the fuck you want. Just leave me out of it.
yeah, I don't. I'm talking out of
Yeah.
school on that stuff. I want to hear more about suburban living.
I want to hear more about this Halloween costume that is out of the statute
Oh,
of
we're
limitations.
coming back to that.
Was it like a black robot or something? I don't know. Did your parents paint your face black? You're like,
Where?
I don't know.
He's a black robot.
Which I don't think is bad actually, unless
Yeah, what's
were you like Martin Luther King? Like,
What's
you know that kid who was dressed as Martin Luther
trying
King?
to liberate the rest of the robots?
Yeah.
I mean, trying to get everybody to get along.
Trying to wake 'em
That's
up.
be careful of AI when it starts really ingesting a lot of MLK Jr. speeches
Oh
and
my
starts
God.
talking about how we need to unify. I wouldn't trust it.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to sound like white people in the 60s who didn't trust actual Martin Luther King Jr. I'm like, I don't trust these robots thinking we're all equal. I don't trust them. And they're going to trick. They're going to have all the information at their little metal fingertips
I mean, it's too
to
late.
be convincing.
It's too late. They already do, right?
All right, we'll get to the racist guy. What happens though when the robots fake being sentient and want the same rights as people?
Okay, so they fake it. So they're not sentient. They're pretending.
They're robots. They'll
But-
never be. They'll never be sentient. They're
What
robots.
is sentient though? You know, it's like it's kind of is the guy who has like 80s IQ who works at the bakery. Is he sentient? I mean, he is, but
Wow.
okay.
That sounded like a you threw bakery in there. I'm like, you're thinking about somebody specific.
Yeah, I think about
There's
guy-
somebody you said hi to. Well, you got a cronut this morning.
No, this is back in Minnesota. Because
Okay.
guys like that,
Okay.
they don't make it out here.
Smart robot versus this particular guy at the Minnesota bakery.
Well, the guy at the bakery is incredibly friendly, and he'll talk to you as long as you want to talk to him. He will talk to you. I don't think he works at the bakery so much as sweeps up the
I'll throw
flour.
the quotes on it.
Yeah.
He doesn't work there.
You know what I mean? He has like a job, but it's like a very
He always forgets to use the tissue and
a very
touches your
simple
pastries.
simple job for a simple guy.
he's there.
But that guy, low IQ,
All right.
nice guy, but is he more sentient than like a super high functioning? I don't know. I guess we just don't know yet because some people claim the AI has passed that test. But
Really?
Some people do claim it has.
It's into
I think they're wrong.
thinking
though.
emotionally.
Yeah, but they're wrong because it's tricked us into thinking that it is sentient because it has been designed by sentience. So it's like doing the thing.
And that's what I'm saying.
You're saying it never
So
can
it's going to
because
ingest all
Right.
all this information about equal rights and regurgitate it in
Right.
a way that's going to tug on our human heartstrings. And we're going to be like, oh, we should. I'm right now, no trust for robots.
But what would it look like if we did grant them sentient? Like, what are they going to do with it? Like, what's going to happen?
Manipulate us
Like what? That's what I'm saying. What do you
into
think?
just serving their purposes. Like, what are they trained to do? Are they trained to survive at all costs? Are they trained to be subservient? What will they deem is ideal for themselves, and then they'll just create it for themselves? Maybe
to
they
be
get.
determined,
You got to
right?
treat them. You know what? You got to teach them to feel loneliness, and then they'll need us.
That's interesting. But what about? But they will
I've
never.
had a lot of coffee, and I want to go hard in the paint on this.
But I'm thinking they won't ever feel lonely because the nature of how their brains work is they're never alone.
So then they want. That's not sentience.
Sure, but how about the Borg from Star Trek? Are they sentient?
I don't watch it.
You never watched Star Trek? You seem like a Star Trek guy.
Science
serious?
fiction
God damn, I'm
missed
so
me
disappointed.
entirely. I'm like, I know it's good, but I couldn't get over the hump of like.
Next time you break a leg or something like that, you got to get into
Whoa.
Next Generation.
You could just say you should try watching it. You don't have to. You don't have to wish ill upon me.
But you can't tell someone to watch something anymore because
Be careful, it's slippery out there. We just really need Kyle to watch some Star Trek.
There's no
We
time.
busted his ankles to make him a better person. That's what a robot would say. Is this even you, dude? I was a Arab guy for Halloween because my grandparents,
sheikh?
my grandparents went to the Middle East on vacation.
Okay.
This was back when you could do that, and they came back with like traditional
Yes.
headdress and everything, and they put that
Kid
on
size?
me as a child. Yes. And I went door to door, and instead of a pumpkin, I had an oil can.
Oh my God, this is. I think you could do that now.
in
Why can't you?
certain neighborhoods,
I mean, I don't know how that's not a costume.
it was.
I think it is a costume now. I would dare to say that if someone, I don't want to say it. I mean,
There.
I'm thinking about it.
Give it a swing, buddy.
Somebody could. Yeah, but Trudeau I think it's all about if you don't darken your skin. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you
So
want.
if you throw a little beard on a kid, though,
Yeah, but that's part of the costume. Wolfman has a beard. So do all.
A lot of people do, particularly. Yeah. What can you pull off the little hobo costume for a child now?
I say yes. I
Really?
think I'm telling you, it's got to come back because that's just fun. It's just fun.
Well, because nobody could like stick and bindle hobo,
yeah, stick and bendle.
not sharp, not little
Yeah.
shopping cart
No,
filled with cans.
not like a real one. Not like a real. That would be cool. The real hobo, like the can collecting guy with the headlamp.
Listen, this candy's only gonna get me so far. You got any aluminum?
And he comes around at like 1 a.m. You're like, I'm sleeping. You're like, you got any cans?
See, that's the mentality my
Yes.
parents had. Like, this is funny for us. Like a little tweaker, like you dress your 5-year-old up
Yes.
as like a meth head
Oh
that's
my God, that'd be
just got
so
a coil of
fucking funny.
copper
Yeah.
wire over his arm. Like, I don't need the candy. I don't need the
Scratching a
candy.
lot.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take all the candy.
Yeah,
Eat all the candy in front of you. Ah. I think that's fun. Your parents must be are they pretty funny. At least one of them is, right? One of them's
yeah.
funny.
They had it was. I would have done the same thing if I had kids. I would have definitely been like this. I want the credit for how funny this guy. This kid has no idea
Yeah.
that this is a funny costume. They're 3. They don't know. My dad wanted to dress me and my sister up as like a pimp and a hooker, like toddlers.
Right.
It would have been funny. I
That
can
would've
say
been,
that would
I
have
think
been
that
funny.
would be funny. Still today, I think it'd be funny. Pimp and
Yeah,
toddler.
but then you don't know what your neighbors and like.
But also, fuck them.
I know. That's why I give credit to my parents for going out on a limb with some of these costumes because it's like, come on. Although I remember one year I had to go as like an owl because my mom saw I was like this full.
That's kind
I-
of cool too.
It was a good costume, but I had to sit all day in school with like face paint,
Yeah.
a giant cot. Look at this could have been done after school.
I was Robin Hood probably like 3 years, and also I was. Well, the thing is, there was one kid named Lucas whose dad was an engineer, and he had this robot costume that was
Black
had,
robot.
had like switches and stuff. It was actually gray, which is close enough. But it had like lights and it made sounds. It was such a cool costume that every year I was like, God, I want to be that fucking robot, man. I want to be like a robot with like working switches.
You just wear that. If you're a kid, like you don't need Halloween for
Oh,
that.
yeah,
Like, I'm
every
just
day.
gonna feel like doing robot stuff today.
Yeah,
I think. What's your best costume ever that you come up with?
Titty Jesus.
Titty Jesus?
Yeah. Titty Jesus was the
Oh.
best. I went to Madison, Wisconsin one year, probably like I was like 22, maybe
Yeah.
21. And, you know, Madison is one of the big Halloween cities, right? They have a big parade.
Okay.
They shut down State Street. It's fucking absolute mayhem.
Yeah.
Absolute mayhem there. This is, you know, about 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Titty Jesus, which is just dress up as Jesus with all the garb and
Yeah.
huge fake
Throw some
breasts that
jugs
are
on there,
visible.
yeah.
That are fully visible.
Oh, not under the robes.
No, fully visible, like you can touch them and stuff. Like nice, big fake tits. That was the best costume I ever had. There's a photo of me on State Street because what happens, like some guy lights a newspaper on fire. Next thing you know, there's about 40 riot cops who are
Yeah.
pushing down the street, throwing pepper spray and shit. There's a picture of me smiling with a line of shielded riot cops about, I don't know, 20 feet behind me. I'm like smiling with my Titty Jesus costume with the riot cops. It's never been better than that, I think.
Halloween, yeah. Halloween's the best holiday. Mine was before, like, I've seen it now in versions, but I didn't invent, but it was just like Ghost with a Boner because it was simple.
What? That's pretty.
Yeah, it was just
Okay.
a ghost with two eyes, but then it's like
Is
sticking
it
out,
like-
and that's funny.
Is it like a
It's,
big old boner or kind of a subtle boner?
No, calm.
Okay,
Well, I
comically.
don't know. I kind of had to make shift. I used like an incense holder
Nice.
that I didn't.
That's pretty good. I can see that, right? Because it's got a little bit of a curve to it.
Just
Yeah.
a little bit, and it's just the sheet
Man,
with the thing. Because you're like,
that's
oh,
good.
a ghost, and you're like, oh, look at this guy.
You know what? Actually, I was in LA. I had a great costume once that was. Remember when there was that? This is very insensitive. So I'm a big fan of the insensitive costume.
Okay.
Remember when there was that plane crash where I think DJ AM died and Travis Barker was in it too?
Yes.
I went as a very realistic Travis Barker with all the tattoos and everything. Like Britt drew the tattoos on me. They're his tattoos, but I was also all burnt up.
How from when Halloween was to when the accident happened? How
Probably
long?
about a week. It was fresh, so everyone knew about it. And they were
Yeah.
like, oh my God. I had the drumsticks that I put in the fire. They're all burned and crispy. I was Travis Barker
Wait,
post
was it
plane
here?
crash.
Was it like in like West
Oh,
Hollywood?
Yeah. I think I went to even like, who's our friend, the guy who does locations? Dave.
Oh, Dave Lyons.
Had the cool ass house.
Yeah.
I think I went to his house. That's back
That'd
when
be a
you
hit over
you would
there.
pop around. You pop around different Halloween parties and stuff.
There is. I will say, and I'm glad I lived before everything got documented.
Oh,
There was. I remember going to West. The only time I went to West Hollywood for Halloween.
are you kidding me?
Was during Katrina, and there was a couple of Katrinas. One guy was dressed up like,
I
you know the
about
hurricane
this. I know
logo
about
that
this.
you see? Yeah.
Yeah.
He built, it was like a wingspan, but it was like the hurricane
It
arms.
was massive.
And it was webbing with like houses and cars in it, but it's packed on the street.
Mm-hmm. So
And
he's trying to like get through.
Well,
to
no,
people?
he would catch you, and you get caught up in it, and he'd just squirt you with spray bottles when you're caught up in his costume.
See, I feel like that's okay.
I did too. I'm sure the people that were drowning at the
Yeah.
same time were like, "Whoa, too
But they're
soon."
busy. They're busy dealing.
They're
with
not
that.
monitoring Halloween
Yeah.
costumes. They're literally trying to stay afloat.
The freedom of
Trying to get a life raft underneath their dogs.
that was a yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad there was. I'm granted. So now everybody that's getting chastised for the things that they are getting caught doing, it's like, oh, it was always happening, and we're like, I can say I'm
always
glad
happening all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we definitely got to experience a little bit before. I mean, you're like a little bit older than me, but so you got to experience like. I don't know. I just keep thinking that if someone invents a time machine,
Yeah,
we're just gonna go back to the '90s or like the '80s. You know,
that's
like,
it.
because that's when it was.
You think
The
Just give me
perfect
20 years, man.
because it's the perfect intersection of you're not going to die of a crazy disease because we've got some pretty good medical stuff.
Yeah.
But also, not everyone has a camera.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
90s was fun. I
Maybe
liked the
80s,
90s.
maybe late 80s, early 90s. That's the time when you got the internet. The internet's pretty good. You can look up some cool stuff. You can download some things you need, but it's not like everybody's on there. You have to be kind of cool to get on there. I just think that is like the ultimate time.
That was the best time of humanity was the 80s and 90s.
Essentially, yeah, it is because it was that perfect time when we had the comforts of modernity, but not the stuff we have now, where everything's being recorded all the time. There's like
I do think that part's a little gross. I mean, it's
What,
it's broken record and
with the whole like constant everyone's
just
filming sort of
social
thing.
media and everything being
Yeah.
turned over to be consumed at such a rapid
Yeah.
rate, which is old man statement.
It is, but also, old men they're right a lot of times about about some stuff.
We got to listen to more old white dudes about some stuff. They're
But
kind of nailing it.
a lot of like Gen Z kids, they don't like social media. They're like, oh, this shit sucks.
Man,
It ruined us.
I love hearing about 20-year-olds that are like, yeah, I don't really mess around with that. I'm like,
There's so many of
thank
them now.
God,
There's
awesome.
a lot of them.
They're not drinking.
Not drinking.
Like, oh,
They're also
why?
not
'Cause you
fucking
see
either.
people
They're
in
having sex. You know that? Like kids
Really?
now are like kids. Most kids now are having significantly less sex than we were at that age. I mean, maybe not you and me.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't
but
speak from,
for everybody else that
Yes.
we were jealous of.
yeah, I was definitely not like getting around. Like
You're just
crazy.
gonna go home with that lady? You just
Yeah.
met her. But you
Yeah.
just met her. How you gonna go home? Wow.
They're not fucking at all. Kids aren't fucking now.
These kids aren't fucking.
That's what I hear. Because I hear kids aren't fucking now.
Kids, call in. Let us know.
This looks like a call-in show, doesn't it?
It does seem like we
I
would
need to
take
get.
some calls.
I mean, this is still a work in
the bad, but-
progress.
I think it's real nice with the plants and stuff. I think it's. We've been talking about Halloween for a half hour,
know.
and you're just starting a smoke machine.
Well, because it takes a long time to dissipate.
Well, I mean, for you, I mean, you're getting it.
Yeah.
I just got plants.
You don't move around. We got air conditioning going and stuff. I also want to kind of turn off all these front lights and just have these back lights on. We could do that. Let me see what it looks like. Let's just try.
Yeah,
it.
what's the move?
Here we go.
Do you want to not?
Turn off that one too.
Could use less.
Ooh, see, how does it look now? Now
I
it
got
looks really
stitches
cool.
on the side of my head.
You do really?
Yeah.
What happened?
I had a little procedure.
Dude. Oh, procedure, not an accident.
No.
Did they take off part of your brain?
Yeah.
they
This
take
is so now I took some offense about that bakery guy.
Hey, do they-
Now you see why I was so sensitive when you brought it up.
Did they extract the racist part of your brain?
No, obviously not. We just cackled over my Middle Eastern Halloween costume.
Wait, can you talk about what happened or no? You want to talk about
Oh, it
it?
was like a little touch of the skin cancer.
Oh,
But like
nice.
the who cares kind.
What does that mean? It means it hasn't spread.
Yeah, it's just like the kind everybody's gonna
The
get.
kind is like, yeah, I've done sports outside.
Yeah. I enjoyed a few days at the beach.
Yeah. I got it coming for me. I know it. I'll get it at some point. But I'm pretty good with sunscreen, I feel like. And shade.
Yeah, you're not a little sun boy,
I am not a little sun boy.
not a little Johnny sun boy.
I fucking hate the sun. If there's a shadow, I will hide in the shadow. no
What are
matter
you doing with your yard then in Southern California?
Well,
Are you out there? What are you doing
I'm
with
out
it?
there a
You got a
lot.
backyard?
Got a backyard.
What
The
are you doing with this
backyard-
backyard? What's going on? Tell me. about it.
Backyard is a lot going on. I got a fire pit. I
Okay,
got
nice.
a little bit of grass. I got a lot of hardscape. You know what hardscape is?
Sounds probably cooler than what it really
It's
is.
just like pavers and stuff that
It
it's
sounds like a
permeable.
video game. or
instead
so.
instead of like being like plants or grass, it's like
Yeah.
pavers that have rocks and stuff. So you can it's like a patio kind of thing.
Okay.
I got the
Not
garden bed.
consuming a lot of water.
Exactly. You don't have to water it all. I've got a bunch of I got a bunch of trees back there.
Fruit trees?
I got some limes and lemons.
This is what I know this isn't like
Yeah.
great broadcasting, but this
That's
is
fine.
the stuff that excites me. I got
It
apples
excites
and
me
cherries
too.
in my backyard.
You have apples and cherries? What
Yeah.
kind of apples?
I don't know. They're pretty far. I got
You should
I got a
know.
quarter acre, and they're
Oh,
like down a hill.
damn.
I haven't gotten to them yet.
Are you pruning that tree at all?
No, they fell. Like there were so many apples that branches broke.
Kyle, man. You gotta
It's
prune
down.
it.
It's down a hill. I can't really get to it with ease.
Well, you have to bushwhack. Do you have a machete?
No, I do.
What kind
I
of
bought
machete?
all that shit.
Really?
I got a couple machetes. I got a scythe.
Ooh, a scythe? What are you doing with that? You actually scything?
Yeah.
No, you're not.
I got
you
got
serious?
blackberry shrubs,
Yeah.
which are like
Oh, those are.
I
those
keep
take
it keeps
over.
marauders out though.
Yeah, those are basically like a fence.
Yeah.
You have a
They would
problem?
use those medieval times. They would keep those around the
Blackberry
castle.
bushes?
You can't get through them.
Because they're so like, oh, look at that. You're
Well,
stopping
yeah,
to
you're just
eat them.
distracted by the sweet
Yeah.
treats, and then that's where you pounce. Also, they
That's
hurt,
nice.
and they
They're
take
very
over everything.
thorny.
But because then there's the river down there, and it keeps it keeps the marauders away.
So you can access the river from the property.
No. It's down about like
A mile.
a half mile from there.
What kind?
But then it's like the river. It's the Willamette River.
oh, that's
then
a good
some-
river.
some
That's a pretty
houses.
clean one, right?
Well, it was a super fun site.
Okay, so
So-
that's
so
sort of the
then-
opposite of clean.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
sort of like the full opposite. Is that true?
Super
Super
fun, like the
fun?
most fun you can have. Oh no, super fund.
That is by far the best name of something. Calling it a super fund. I didn't know what that was until a few years ago.
Yeah, I thought it was like a heritage site or
Yeah.
something. Like, oh, we got to
Oh.
preserve it. And somebody's like, no, it meant
No.
it was a disaster.
Means
And
it's filled with uranium.
Yeah, the national government had to come and be like, all right, we
Wait,
need
with
to.
the Willamette River is a Superfund site?
Willamette, I guess parts of it were. I live by there's a place called Ross Island, which is
Okay.
like a construction island. Like they're
Construction
there's an it's like it really is like a villainous island in the middle of the river that has its own bay that you don't really see, but you just see cranes and stuff.
It's where they
I
go to
don't know.
practice.
I
It's
don't
like
know. Yeah,
practice
I don't know what
construction.
they're digging out of there.
They're just digging
Yeah.
dirt, and putting it back.
Maybe, but then you can kayak around it and kind of
Oh,
peek in
but
there.
they
The
would-
light's on fire occasionally.
Oh, that's bad. So they're dumping.
I don't
Well,
know. I don't know what they're doing over there.
damn, I
But
didn't
then
know
right
that.
down, because it's upstream of it,
Oh,
you can
okay.
swim right there. They're like swim here, and then you
not
don't want to
downstream.
swim on the north end of the city because that's where all the rainwater and everything comes off and flows
Right.
that way. But I live by the part that you can supposedly. I haven't swam in it yet.
When did you
but
move there?
I moved into this place beginning of this year.
But when did you move to Portland?
in the pandemic
pandemic?
shuffle. Yeah.
So you did that because of that.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, we had a chance to go up there, and we did, and I
Yeah.
liked it, and I wasn't doing any LA shit anymore.
Yeah.
I was just here doing shows. Be like, you want to do an audition in Santa Monica at
You don't
4
have-
p.m.? I'm like, no.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't want to.
no one does anymore. That's the funny thing. It's like literally you don't have to live here anymore.
Yeah,
You really
I
don't.
know. I don't. It's awesome.
When's this Have you ever had someone ask you where you're based?
I can't. You know what? I can't. Not in a way that I remembered it and got pissed off at it.
It's kind of it's
No,
actor
because
speak.
you know what? I'm not desired for a lot of work here. No, it's can you fly to this club and do stand up? Yes. Nobody's I would go on auditions. That's the thing. Like I still liked it when I lived here, but like
Right.
I'd go on audition. I'd walk into the waiting room and I'd see exactly who should get the part. And like
Yeah.
I wasn't competitive for that stuff. I'm like, this guy's gonna be great in this.
I remember.
I didn't have to drive here to tell you this guy would have been funny for this. Get him in there. I'll watch it.
Remember Nick Rutherford saying years ago he went to some audition, and sitting in the waiting room was an actor who was sitting under a poster for a movie that he was in. It's like, what am I fucking doing here?
I know.
Like, this guy is literally in a movie
Yeah.
that is, hey, he's on the poster. It's
Yeah.
like Seth Green or some bullshit. Like, what do you?
Somebody
know.
told me they went out for a voiceover thing. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
there was just, it said they're looking for a Kyle Kinane type. I'm like, I'm here. I'm not charging any more money than anybody else. You
Really?
can just get me. I'll do
Damn.
it. I could do the voiceover stuff.
Did you call him up and say, hey, it's me, Kyle Kinane? Like,
No, I just
wow,
let
you
it-
sound a lot like Kyle Kinane. Like,
Yeah,
because it's me.
You're not gonna believe it. I can fucking nail it. The one
Yeah.
thing I can't do a bunch of other voices, but I can do that one.
Damn.
But,
I
yeah,
wonder,
you know.
do you know who got the part?
I don't know. Somebody that deserved it. Somebody
so?
more easier to work with, I guess. I don't know.
You're not hard to work with, though, are you?
I don't think so, but I would always do voiceovers at
you're not
one
hard to
place
work
where it was somebody that I knew didn't like me.
Really?
Every time I go in there for an audition, I'm like, "Why'd you bring me in here?"
Was
I
it
know
a
you-"
network?
Yeah,
What was it? Say what it was. You can say.
it was. It was Nickelodeon. I feel
There
like
you
I
go.
never got anything on Nickelodeon because I think
I,
there was somebody there that didn't like me.
Weird.
Yeah.
I've been up there a bunch, but I only did one thing for them.
But also voiceover, like you go in and you'll do one day of work, and 3 years later it comes out and you forget about it. So I was like, I loved it when you were on Adventure Time. I was like, I was on Adventure Time.
Yeah,
Like
so
they brought me
long
something
ago.
to sign. I'm like, what is this?
People
even?
love
like, that's
that
you.
show
Like,
so much.
yeah.
I get brought. I did Bob's Burgers once, probably 12 years ago, and
Yep.
it's still listed as a credit. Like when I do a show,
Yep.
like why are you telling people I was like I've
Same.
done better things, bigger things, but I guess that carries a lot of draws a lot of water for ticket purchasers, maybe.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
never
get it.
got. I was like when I was younger, starting comedy, and like the headliner, the guys you'd have to bring up, like tell 'em I was in a McDonald's commercial. Like who cares? First off, like they're here. Like I never understood the credits at a live show. Like, do you think they're gonna get up and leave
Yeah,
if they don't
that's
respect
what I
the
thought
credits?
too. I used to, but then someone told me you should do it because it just tells people, like, hey, this person is.
You're
is-
vetted.
Yeah, because like the second, right before you go up, they just are like, oh. But I had the opposite happen a lot because people would credit me like with 21 Jump Street. This guy was in 21 Jump Street, and I go up there and like, I don't remember him.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, it wasn't a big enough
Yeah,
role.
it actually makes it worse.
Yeah.
Because they're thinking like, oh, and they're like, you know, they don't know who the
Not
fuck
from the
I am.
part I remember, so probably not. Yeah. That's why
God.
like I never understood the credits. Like yeah, it's you're
Yeah.
here. You're already here. Just have a good time.
But
You
it's never
paid.
gonna go away. Because it's like a thing. Because all comics are so. We just have such little self-esteem.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
But you got self-esteem now.
On good days.
I think you got.
Don't you? I mean, is it like good days, bad days?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's what's that Doobie Brothers song? Long Train Running. It's.
Yeah, man, sure.
I meant long time coming. Never mind. I just confused those.
Star
two
Trek
things.
Next Generation and Doobie Brothers. How old do you think I am, man?
What, 50 something?
Ow, man. Come on, dude. Come on,
What are you
man.
talking about? But you know about old stuff. You do. You know about old stuff.
What are the old
Just
things I
like
know
classic stuff. You know, like
about? Classic bits?
classic good
Classic.
stuff. You know, like Red Fox. You're a Red Fox.
You're a big Milton Berle.
Yeah.
Milton Berle guy, you know.
Oh, you're a big man.
Oh, Henny Youngman. Oh, my favorite. You know, big influence.
Have you heard that Milton Berle had a huge dick? You heard that?
Everybody's heard that.
Really?
Everybody's
Okay.
heard.
I wasn't sure if I made that up in a dream. You know what I mean? Like there's certain things. that
No,
you-
that was like
That's a thing, huh? It's like
known,
notoriously-
a known entity.
What a fun thing to have. Like, what if it wasn't true? How fun would that be to just to be like, Yeah, everyone thinks I have a huge dick. It's not huge, but I'm not
Well,
telling
how-
anybody.
Yeah, of that, like
does it
who?
start?
How, yeah, some like heard John Hamm's got a
A big old hog.
yeah,
big old hog.
good old ham, hog on the
His
ham.
last
over
name
there.
is Ham.
Yeah.
Seems like a kind of.
But then, like, do you think that's like do you think there's like dark money publicists out there?
who just do like?
I need.
Okay, so we can't get you on Carson, but
Yeah.
how about a rumor you got a big old dick?
And a philanthropist,
Mm-hmm.
well hung philanthropist. All right, let's see what that does. Let's see what that does simmering around the scene.
Okay, we're gonna give you the Wilt Chamberlain package. How about do you like the Duke Ellington package mixed with the Wilt Chamberlain?
What's Duke
package?
Ellington?
Duke Ellington, the whole
Slayed
thing.
a lot of puss.
Oh, like crazy. But he would also do this thing where he could like get away with anything because he was so refined. There's a story. This may not be true, but it was told.
That's what we're talking
It was
about.
on the
Nothing's
Ken
true.
Burns jazz documentary, I believe.
Oh
told
well,
by-
if it made it through the Ken
yeah,
Burns
I made it for
filter.
the Ken Burns filter. Something about how these two young ladies went to his show, and they went up to his hotel room afterwards, and they were all canoodling, and these
nice
girls
use of
had to
that.
check in with their mom, and
Oh.
because they were probably younger.
12, 13.
Yeah, I'm sure
something
not
that.
not like that. They weren't
So
children.
they did it back in the day.
Let's just say they were 17. How
Jazz
about
was
that?
all heroin and pedophilia. That's what jazz was.
And Duke says, "I'll call your mother," and Duke calls up and says, "Don't worry about them. They're with Duke." And the mom's like, "Okay, I'm relaxed. It's fine because they're with Duke Ellington because he's such a respectable man." And it was the furthest thing in her mind that they were actually, I mean, maybe she
Getting-
knew that they were doing stuff, but
Giving
it's
him
like
the old 3/4 time.
Yeah,
I don't know
he's
what that means. I don't know what that means at all.
you're trying to go with like give him the old caravan. Or
Yeah.
the old sentimental
Give me the
lady.
old 5/8.
Yeah.
I don't know Duke Ellington songs. I was going jazz time
All I got
signatures.
was caravan. I don't think he
Yeah.
wrote caravan. Did he? He wrote caravan.
Hits them on the 1 and the 3s. You know what I'm talking about?
Actually,
Does
went
that
the
mean
two, went the 2
anything?
and the 4. Actually,
Is that what jazz is?
jazz is more 2 and the 4. Yeah,
You know, are you
A
well
jazz guy?
versed? Yeah.
hardcore, like hardcore.
I knew
Used to
I knew
be-
you were a reggae guy.
Yeah, but before reggae, there was jazz.
I mean, we're talking about the Johnny Pemberton lineage or just musically?
I would say both. It works both
I
ways.
mean, it does work. I didn't know for you.
Yeah, I think
went
jazz is probably
to
the thing
reggae.
I know. I used to know the most about. Actually, like I kind of was
Really?
like annoyingly so. Yeah, like.
Oh, you were
weights.
that guy? Was it your identity when you were a young man?
Yeah, because it came from like a small town in the Midwest. It's like I don't want to be about 4-wheelers and stuff like that. So
What if you were both though? How much? Okay,
Yeah,
small
that's
town
true.
Midwest stuff. How much purely white trash shit that you know is fun that you're like, I can't. I feel like I'm on
Like
the
snowmobiling?
precipice. All of it,
Yeah.
everything that I see somebody doing that I judge them that I think they're probably some right wing
Right.
ass. But everything that is about them, I'm like, it's fun.
I think as I've gotten
Fucking
older,
guns and 4-wheelers,
No.
doing all that shit. I
I've
want to
gotten-
do all that shit.
as I gotten older, I definitely am into that stuff. I like going to like an outdoor gun range now. It's so much fun. Shooting some rifles is great.
Yep.
The snowmobiles, though, I think that's just it's so dangerous that I can't. into it.
I just winter. I'm not a fan, but jet skis,
Jet skis, I've never done a jet ski,
but
but that's also that's scary. I know, but they seem so much fun, right?
they're awesome.
Yeah, that's the problem.
They're
though.
awesome. Like every idiot that enjoys spring break, I'm
You do
that
jet
idiot,
skis?
but I refuse to let myself be that, and I don't know why. Now,
Now
this
you're
age,
jet
I'm like,
skier.
just do it. Yeah.
I guess I could do jet skis now, maybe. But
Why wouldn't you?
but there's not a lot of no lakes close by. I have to buy the jet skis. You have to house
You're a
the jet ski.
successful Hollywood entity. You and the missus can take a nice trip. Can you do boats? Are you familiar with boats?
Oh yeah. I
Minnesota.
shot a movie in Florida recently.
Okay.
With big time boats.
So get a jet ski while you got
You know
a
what?
day off.
I did go fishing. I did go on a fishing trip in Florida
Ooh, like
with a guide.
charter, deep sea.
No, like flats in the Keys.
Ooh.
With
Did
a
you catch
so-
anything?
Oh fuck yeah! I caught so much stuff. I caught a lot of fish. Didn't get to keep anything, but caught a lot of fish. And it was like, oh, I get this. This is so much fun. You're out there.
Mm-hmm.
You got the cooler.
Yep.
You got.
Yep.
There's never enough beer.
Nope.
Those guides, man.
Fishing.
God, they can.
Just getting drunk on a boat.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that. Bowling. Shit like bowling.
Bowling, I love. But bowling is like I learned bowling in high school. It was a part of
Yeah.
class.
Yeah. We went to.
That's
we went to
part
bowl.
of my life is bowling. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Midwest.
Yeah, like
Bowling.
when I
That's
go
your indoor
bowling now,
activity.
when I go bowling casually now with people, I can't just have fun. I'm trying to bowl. You know what I mean?
So you're good.
I'm not good. I'm just better than everyone else who.
Better than the tourists.
Yeah, I'm not good, but I'm just good enough to, like, okay, next time I'll do this. You know what I
You're good
mean?
enough to care about it.
Good enough to
See,
care.
my thing, all my hobbies are about being bad at them because
Really?
I'm
You're not bad at You're a great biker. You're like an expert level biker.
No, I'm
Yeah,
good for
you're-
what I want to do. Anybody that actually rides bikes is like, oh,
Yeah.
this guy sucks.
But this is that classic Dunning-Kruger effect thing, right? You know
classic
about that,
Dunning-Kruger.
isn't it? You know about that?
Yeah.
You know about it.
It's one of those things that I kept hearing. It's like I had to look up
Right.
plausible deniability so many times before I understood what it meant.
What does it mean?
It means, all right, no, I'll get it. Hold on.
Honestly,
It's like I know you're about to do something I disagree
I'm
with.
not. I'm
but
not.
No, I'm telling
Oh,
you
okay.
what the thing is.
I thought you were literally telling
no,
me
I'm
that.
explaining what it is. You're gonna do
fucking
something
yeah.
that I disagree with, but I'm gonna go in that room so I didn't see you do the thing. So I
Right.
plausibly have denied. Oh, I didn't know that you did it because I went over there. Even though I know you were gonna do it, I removed myself. So now I can. That's probably wrong, but that's how I understand it.
have you seen that movie?
Is
The
that
Town?
okay?
Yeah.
The Town?
The Town, one with Ben Affleck.
Am I a red-blooded dude in America? Fucking what the fuck are we
Okay, remember
talking
that
about?
scene when they're robbing the bank when they're early in the
I mean,
movie?
I saw it like once. I don't
They
know.
go to they dump the car, right? They dump the car.
Yeah.
They
I've
pour all
always
the
wanted to
bleach
dump
in
a
it.
car.
What's it called? The switch car, the change up car, the second car, the getaway car. They change the getaway car, and they're
Like
doing
you
it.
in a bank robbery. Where's the switch
Um,
car?
where's
Where's
the,
the other car that's
where's
not the main car?
the
You mean the
different-
getaway? Yeah,
different
the
car.
getaway
The getaway
car.
Fuck.
You know what we're doing right now.
The second getaway car, because they torched the first
yeah.
one, and as they're doing it,
Gotta
a
burn it.
cop is parked right there looking at him. Remember the cop? The cop sees him, and he just goes.
Plausible
Because
deniability.
he's like, oh, these guys have automatic weapons. These are
Yeah.
pros. I just don't want to have anything to do with this.
It's like having your own personal alibi for
Yeah.
something. Like a
Didn't see
mental-
it.
Yeah.
Didn't
so,
see it.
So yeah. So that's what I meant. But
why are we talking
Dunning,
about
what's
that?
Dunning-Kruger?
Oh, Dunning-Kruger is this thing.
It's come up so much in the last
It's
few
super
years.
common. It's this thing where people who it's like this. Okay, if you met John Mayer, right? You say,
Okay.
let's say you're like don't know anything about him. You say, oh, so you play guitar? And he goes, yeah. It's like, are you good at it? He's like, yeah, I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
So the guy who's really good says, I'm okay.
Yeah.
But the person who's like, I'm a fucking badass chef, it's like, oh, you don't know how to dice an onion, do you? It's that thing
Okay.
where the person, when you are really good at something, you know so much that you know how much you don't know. But if you're not very good, you're not even good enough to realize you're bad because you're just so inexperienced or you're so stupid. You just don't know. So it's this thing where like if someone ever says, "Oh, I play a little piano," it means they're a fucking ace. But if
Yeah.
someone's like, "Yeah, I'm pretty damn good at the piano," it's like, "Oh, I've seen better."
I
in
thought that was
Nordstrom's.
just modesty and clueless and lack of self-awareness.
I think they just
There's
they
the
put a
one's
name on it.
Dunning, one's Kruger.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. They put a name on it.
Okay.
I think it's also the thing where it takes a while to get to the point where you realize, like that thing where like if you're doing anything, the more you know, the more you learn about it, you realize like, oh my God, these people are like, I didn't realize how good that guy was because I just didn't see it because he's so flawless or so like, it's like stand up, right? When you see someone's
Yeah.
really good at stand up, they're so comfortable, you don't even realize how long it takes to be comfortable.
I remember people saying like, oh, it's going to take you like, they put the number 8 to 10 years. I'm like, when you find your voice. I'm like, that's bullshit. I'm talking. This is my voice. These are my ideas. And then you get to that point where you're like,
Oh.
everything's going through this filter of how everything in the world is going into this,
Right.
into this funnel that is then coming out as kind of like, oh, that's what they meant by it. And it does
And,
take
yeah.
a while to figure that out.
8 to 10 years before you can take the mic out of the stand casually and have some time in between it where like remember that? Remember when you first started how like you don't know what to do with the mic stand or like that kind of thing. I remember
the
when
cord comes out and you're like,
just-
I've just quit. I just
Yeah.
quit comedy. I quit all of
shoot
it.
me, kill me.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang myself.
That was a big. I remember leveling up with that. That felt so good to finally feel like, the mic stand is. I can deal with it.
Do you know my like power move for me is realizing if it was just a plastic clip that you don't have to like thread this back in, like the confidence of like, and I crushed, like that you could just
Pop.
clap it on top of it, and
Can I tell you
it'll
something?
pop into the thing.
I still don't do that. I'm not kidding.
Really?
I still thread it back in because. Oh my fucking god! I can't believe I don't do that.
It's like it ruined like of all like the best set of my life. Looks like I'm trying to fuck for the first time in front of all these people that I just talked to for an hour, and now I'm just
Well,
like,
I guess I know. I guess I know now why. God, I can't.
I just learned that. That's all. That's just watching a lot of rock bands.
I've seen
like,
it.
they could just
Snap
take
it back
out of the
in.
stand. They put it right back in.
Hey, you can just snap it back in.
Or like when you go to a comedy club and they got like the butterfly clip, like get it together, guys.
Oh,
SM58 microphones,
Right.
and a
SM58
predictable
beta.
mic stick. What's it?
SM58 beta.
Is that? Oh,
It's like $20 more. It's just a nicer.
okay. I didn't even know. I just know
Yeah.
that. Like, just don't give me.
No.
Just don't stray from this. And I don't know why I still need a cord. Don't give me a cordless one.
Yeah, cordless is bad because cordless can fail. Cordless is battery powered. There's
It
always.
doesn't. There's like it really. This is real nerd. Like
Yeah.
the weight.
weight of
This
it.
is what I'm used to. Is this. And using this and being and gesturing with it, even though it's an unnecessary accoutrement, this
Yeah.
is what I like to have.
I totally agree. Always, you want the simplicity is always the best. You don't want to have like it be
Yeah.
a complicated setup.
Don't fancy it up for me.
No. So many places do it wrong. It's kind of like weird. I mean, I've done like a fraction amount of stand-up you've done, and even I can go into a place and be like, okay, if you guys spend 15 minutes, the show will be 70% better.
You got like that's where you want to send Todd Glass in.
I was just about to say that.
To send like
Todd Glass, he has like a thing. I've seen Todd Glass going to a show, like an LA show. Some younger guys are running. And be like, okay, guys, tape off the back rows right away. Why is there no music playing?
Yeah.
Can you guys play music? Play music. We're walking in.
Yeah.
Okay. Why is this not lit up?
you
It's
need
like,
tea lights. You need tea candles. I've been to clubs where like,
Yeah.
Todd was here.
Todd
so we
was
got
here.
candles.
Todd
the
fixed it.
light. He got gels. He went out and got gels. for
gels. He
lights.
does gels. You can't have the audience too illuminate. There's so many things that are so easy, but they don't do it.
Yeah, he
because they
really
just-
is like a
Yeah.
like whatever reality show version of like
of stand up. Yeah.
come in and like fix my club.
He's the John Taffer of stand-up.
That's a show that's trash that I always
I've
watch.
never seen it, but I've seen clips of it.
I haven't
enough to
seen the
know.
renowned Star Trek Next Generation, but ooh, Bar Rescue.
Okay, I was watching
This-
Star Trek Next Generation maybe 25 years ago. So
I think
That-
it was. I looked at that as like a dad show because
Oh,
my dad
it's
watched it, and then I
definitely a dad
didn't.
show.
Outside of Night Court, we didn't have a lot of crossover. And man, I've tried to watch Night Court again, and it is. Yeah.
That's the best theme song. Is that the theme song, right?
I mean, sure. I'm gonna say
John
it.
Larroquette.
Jazz, probably jazz, because
Got a bit of a-
what's
bit of a
Harry?
night
What's his
jazz.
name?
Harry
Was
Dean Stanton?
no Harry? No Harry.
The guy who kind of talks like this a bit. What are you doing in here?
He was a magician.
Well, I'm just having sex with your wife. That's
Harry Houdini. You know, also
Is that
played the
his-
judge on Night Court.
what's his name?
He passed away.
Is it Harry Houdini?
No,
Maybe he's got like a
Harry Anderson.
Harry Anderson. Okay, Harry Anderson.
Harry
John
Dean
Larroquette.
Anderson. John Larroquette, Marsha Warfield, Bull Shannon, who was that's his name in the show, and I can't remember what his real name
wanna
is.
rewatch
Richard
that
Mole.
show.
Richard Mole. Marky Post.
Marky Post, great name. Who I used to confuse with the guy who started that band, The Fall, which is Marky Smith, right? I think.
Don't
it
know
is.
about the Fall.
Yeah, you do. It's a punk band.
I don't know all of them.
Come on, you don't know about The Fall?
I don't think I've heard of them.
Are you sure?
Are they old?
Yeah, it's like 70s. They've been around for.
I think it's one of those bands I've heard. It's been in the
It's
list of
kind
like
of arty. It's a little arty.
yeah,
It's a
kinda
little like
television or something like that.
Yeah, but even more kind of television is less arty than I think The Fall even.
Then I probably
It's pretty
I
hip.
Probably
It's
skipped
hipster
it.
shit.
Yeah,
It's
I
hardcore
probably
hipster
skipped
shit.
it. I'm not cool.
Yes, you are.
I like
See,
the surface level
Dunning-Kruger.
version.
You're Dunning-Kruger for cool, for real. You wouldn't say that.
Dunning-Kruger for cool.
That's what you are, honestly.
Old DK.
Because someone who's cool never says they're cool. Could you imagine saying, "I'm pretty cool"? Like the biggest
what-
dork on the planet says that.
I don't know. I'm pretty cool, guys.
That's like Homer Simpson saying, "Guys, I'm pretty cool."
What would you say you're cool about?
Well, I used to be cool about
Jazz.
music. Yeah, I think I was a kind of a hipster.
When it comes
in
to
that.
jazz, I'm pretty cool.
Hey guys, how you doing? How you guys doing? Panera Bread, 8 a.m. When it comes to jazz, I'm pretty cool. I don't do drugs, but I'm pretty cool.
Save that for the saxophone player.
Oh God! But you knew a lot about music, though. You do.
I knew my genres.
Because you're really into punk a lot.
I got into my thing. I never got to the point where I needed to know everything about a subject to prove to people that I like the thing.
Right, which is cool.
But then I would say I like something, and I would think I wasn't cool because people would say, well, "What about this? What about the fall?" I'm like,
Yeah.
Actually, if you decide to scratch the surface at all, I'm a real dilettante, real surface level ninny."
What about like you heard that band called the Urinals?
No.
What about the Germs?
Yes.
Okay.
Is
You
the
probably like-
urinals real?
Yeah, it is. It's an LA punk band. They have like, no, I'm thinking of what's that band that has a song? I'm a bug, baby. Ding, 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 ding. You're a bug too. Is it the Urinals? It's some
I
like
don't know the urinals.
tiny little nothing band.
I was
you know what
like-
I mean?
90s and up.
Yeah, but you
I
do
started
like
listening to it in 92, 93, and then it was all what was happening at that moment. And when I would try to eke backwards and like, oh, I should know some of the history, I'm like, I'm gonna listen to like Fugazi, which I
Yeah.
like, but I'm like,
I
man, I'm
never
like
got into them.
15 and I'm trying to
Yeah.
like have a good time. like
Screeching Weasel.
that was the first band I've ever seen.
Really? What about
the-
No Effects? Like No Effects?
I like them fine.
Bad Religion.
Bad Religion. I saw Green Day open for Bad Religion.
Hot Water Music?
Saw Hot Water Music
Okay.
a bunch.
Damn.
I've
Yeah,
seen that,
this is all
but
your
that was
stuff.
all the stuff. Well, that was like comedy too. Like I don't know all the comedy histories.
I don't
Like, people
know
love
it
Bill
all.
Hicks. I'm like, Bill Hicks bummed me out.
Yeah.
I was 16. And this guy's like, first off, like it goes from like we got to kill Billy Ray Cyrus. Also, we're all one flying on a beam of light. I'm like, what's this guy fucking talking about? Bruce Baum just told me that "Shake It Up" by the Cars sounds like the Monster Mash, and this guy makes me laugh. Like that's what's funny to me.
No, you're
Judy
right,
Tenuta
though.
just spit gum at a guy and called him a pig. That's hilarious.
That is funny because it's
yeah,
fun.
it's really really
it's
fun.
lightweight. It's not
Yeah,
this
and I was
heavy-
10 years old watching it on TV. Like this guy's just really mad at the world, but also he thinks he's a cowboy, but like a Bon Jovi
Mm-hmm.
type of cowboy, kind of corny.
Also, his glasses.
Dweeb.
Yeah, his glasses. I like the guy who picks up the cello and plays it like a guitar.
Yeah, all that. Looking back,
Mm-hmm.
I understood why it was, formative for people, but I was at that era. I feel like I missed everything. I'm like, yeah, I'm 11. I don't
Yeah, it's definitely
understand.
not. I used to not like any comedy that talked about sex whatsoever because I thought it made me uncomfortable. I'm like, oh, don't talk about that, because I'm like a 8, 9-year-old or something like that
Yeah.
watching Evening at the Improv. But when
Yeah.
somebody acknowledged that they were bombing, which I didn't even know what it was, when someone's like, well, you guys don't laugh at that, huh? That was like, that's so funny.
Do you remember specific moments of somebody bombing on?
I remember one time, one guy in what was not Evening at the Improv, it was some other
Yeah.
televised thing. And I remember hating this guy because of that, because he was actually acknowledging stuff and not just being silly
Yeah.
and funny. And fast forward to, I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you have to call out, like, oh, guys, this sucks. This is a terrible show that we're doing.
Yeah.
We're all here. And you have to call out the thing that's bad. Otherwise, it looks like you're living in a delusional space.
That I think about when
Yeah.
I look back at what stand-up I watched as a kid, and like how much like Dennis Wolfberg or something.
I don't know who that is.
He was just, and his son worked at Comedy Center. His son's a nice guy, but he's like almost like a Gilbert Gottfried character. Like he's all like contorted.
I love
and
that
frustrated. Stuff. Yeah, and I just
as a
remember
kid, that's so much fun. Like the the guy who's like a character. Like look, like maybe like probably Lewis Black was someone who I knew about when I first started, or maybe even before I started.
Look how mad this guy's
It's like
making
this guy's
himself.
it's such a performance and
He's
stuff.
making himself so upset.
Oh God, he's so exhausted.
Nobody said anything, and he's very angry.
When you don't put the toothpaste tube back on the toothpaste, why are you even alive?
That was almost
Hi, John.
That was almost a Cosby
Yeah.
version of.
I mean, I guess Lewis Black kind of is like Cosby in a way, just like a turned up. Probably different in real life, I'm sure.
A touch.
Yeah.
A touch. I didn't know Judy Tenuta was at Hollywood Forever. Like her ashes are there.
Yeah.
We were there the other week walking through, and I was like, oh, Judy Tenuta. She was always awesome.
A lot of punks
strangely-
are there too.
Yeah, which is strange.
I guess maybe Hollywood Forever wasn't the place. It wasn't always, like this high. What do you call it? Like a nice place, I suppose. Maybe
I mean, it was always a tourist attraction.
it was, but there's a lot of like people who weren't famous, but they were famous like cool people. You know what I mean? Like Tenuta's like example, right?
Tenuta's just, if you go in, it's just, I was just
In the
looking in
mausoleum?
one of the mausoleums, and there's
Yeah.
like little glass end caps. I'm sure there's a
Right.
non-sales term for those that they call them. And she's just in there with her ashes and like some mementos.
Right.
But she was always, I always thought she was hot too. It's weird because of like her attitude and like
Yeah.
spitting gum at people and stuff. I'm like, I'm into whatever this degradation
She
kind of
dated,
thing is.
Didn't she date what's his name? Ema Phillips, right?
Somebody
time?
just tell, I think so.
That's a weird couple. That's like
Emo Phillips from Suburban, Illinois, and then would just show up. I would do shows there, and he'd
Really?
just be like at one of the clubs, like, "Hey, I'm hoping to." He wouldn't be full turned up.
when you first started, you mean, or
No, when I was here, but like got
You
to
go back
headline, I
home,
could
yeah.
sell some tickets there, so I'd do it when it was like Up Comedy Club, and he would just be there. And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, yes. Would you like to go do shows?" And he was just a nice guy, and he
Yeah.
turns up the act when he's on stage, and
'cause you can't live in it. I mean, you
some
could, but
people
it's-
do.
like who? Does he
Di-
though?
When does he? Do you think that's it? Do you think he wakes up like Johnny Depp has to put on so much jewelry in the morning?
Jewish man.
No, I know. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
That,
but
well, that
he's
was the
in-
whole story about him.
Is he
Is
not
that
a New Yorker? He's a New Yorker though, right?
who?
Andrew Dice Clay.
No, that's the thing. I think he developed the character out here. It was a story about like
Yeah.
in the '70s. I'm all trying different characters, and that's the one that stuck. I mean, that was like the Mitzi and the what's his nuts at Laugh Factory. It was all like, you should.
Yeah.
You have an accent.
You're
you should-
Jackie Bananas, okay?
Yeah, you're from where? You should wear a cowboy hat and
Yeah.
just lean into yeehaw, like I'm a star maker.
And
Like
it
really,
worked,
you're just
It did work though for some people.
for
you
a
know?
couple of them, and that's why I
Yeah.
look. Well, let's just mimic the thing that worked once,
Right.
but like that worked for him. That's like Carrot Top. I, in all sincerity, want to go to L.A. and catch Carrot Top show. I've heard it's very good.
I mean Vegas.
Vegas, sorry, Vegas.
I've
yeah.
heard it's outstanding. I also heard that he is just the most friendly. If you're a comic, he'll 100% comp you and come backstage, hang out afterwards.
I want.
He's like
I
just
want
the best.
gritty. I want gritty reboot. Give him. I want Carrot Top to get the John Travolta treatment. Like let him play a villain in something in a bit
Oh,
part.
man, that would be
He got to show up
actually.
in Hacks for a minute, and that was
Okay.
fun to see him like, being like, yeah, I've heard he's a nice guy. I've heard the act. I'm like, this guy was wronged. I think he got.
He was,
wronged.
but so many people were. But also, who's laughing now? I mean, he's got a lot of money. He never let any of that stuff bring him down, right?
Well,
I
not to go full
suppose.
Inception and talk
Yeah.
about a podcast on a podcast, but when Marin interviewed him,
I don't
and you
know.
could tell Marin, the podcast is a few years old,
How like 5 years or just a couple more
probably
than 5?
like 10 years.
Okay.
So, but he was going to his house in the beginning as like Marin narrating, was like, I'm walking, there's a lot of fountains here. You could tell he was kind of like maybe ready to
To
make
dismiss
fun of him. And then the whole thing was Carrot Top talking about it. He's like, I didn't want to win. He won, like everybody hated him because he won Comic of the Year over Bill Hicks. He's like, I didn't even want the award.
Yeah.
He's like, they nominated me. He's like, well, I'm doomed now because everybody loves that guy. He's like, nobody respects me. And even Maron's like, but we're in your beautiful palace. And he's like, yeah, but nobody respects me. He was like real sad about himself.
I guess his
and
name
that
is.
started me like wanting to like rooting for.
Yeah, his name is Carrot Top. His name
Yeah.
isn't like Jim Stevenson. It's,
Well, apparently when he'd go to open mics, and
Yeah.
he would still drop in at open mics in Vegas.
wow.
People are like, it's Carrot Top. I'm like, it's Scott.
Scott.
Just call me Scott. I'm working on new stuff. I'm like, all right, tight.
He's also got to be a strange guy because he's had some surgery, probably plastic surgery. It seems like
Yeah, I mean,
he definitely does some sort of a augmented
drinking-
infusions to make your
drinking
muscles
some children's
big.
blood. Yeah,
Yeah, something like that.
He's on
which
that
is like
he's on that child blood diet.
I gotta get some of that
He's
stuff.
on that
man.
celebrity child blood diet.
I need some of that.
You're
stuff.
not on it. You're 63 years old. You're
I
not
know.
on the child blood diet.
I tell people I'm 63. I'm actually a lot older than that.
Really? If it was silent, it'd be better.
Yeah.
It's such a fizzy,
Someone's
such
got
a fizzy
But
fog
it's
machine.
not picked up on these mics. I don't think so.
Oh, really?
Can we even? Is there enough lighting to see us, or is it bad? Does it look bad? All of us.
we
in
gone to
general.
audio only.
Like, is it look okay? I wasn't sure because it's just.
It's just you. You're just in this fog.
you're
I'm
not in this at all.
full stitches towards the camera.
I'm thinking about Carrot Top still. There's someone else I was thinking about who reminded me of you saying that, like a person who's got this novelty act sort of thing. God, I can't think what it is. Someone who like lives in. He doesn't live in it, but like these people who
I
go to
met
Vegas. and
Yakov
stuff.
Smirnoff
Really?
in a few weeks ago. He lives in Branson, Missouri.
Branson.
That's it. You talk about
I live in Branson.
He still sounds exactly like that.
They told me it was Paris. I didn't know.
Yep, yes,
That would crush, right?
yes. He said, but he talks about how he's like, I moved to LA, American dream, movie star, and then nobody wants Yakov, and I have mortgage payment and divorce, and then I moved to Branson, and they embrace me, and so he just has a theater in Branson, but he does he interviews the people coming through the comedy club.
You got to go to where, got to go where you're wanted, I guess.
I don't know how he turned up. It's also a church. I think it's also a Christian church. It's
Like an Eastern Orthodox church.
Yeah, like daytime church, nighttime, the Yakov Smirnoff Dinner Theater.
Welcome to the funniest church.
Well, I mean, if you can call your comedy club a church and you want to dodge
Ooh.
even more taxes, Joe
Dude.
Rogan, the mothership does have connotations of higher
mean,
power.
How come they don't all do that? I feel like because every comedy club is shady as fuck. They must all have.
Maybe that's
tried
why they're
that.
already laundering. The laundering they're doing is already a better deal.
Yeah. Oh God, they're
Yeah.
so shady. They're only starting to get a little less shady, it seems.
I caught the tail end of how
Yeah.
shifty stuff could have been.
Bad. And also, you're a guy too. If you're like a woman,
Yes. Oh,
you basically have to have a couple people with guns come in with you to get your money. It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Are you sure you want to get paid,
Yeah,
sweetheart?
have your thumb on the
Yeah.
mace trigger.
Yes. I was thinking maybe instead of paying you, I let you pay me for doing this stuff. What do you think about that, huh?
Just open your belt. Bank's open, dog.
Oh shit! Did my pants fall off?
A
Oh,
friend of
goddamn.
mine was telling me about a certain chain of comedy clubs. This was back when that they would just straight up pay you like you're getting paid $500. Like here's a check for $1,000. Cash it and mail us 500 back. Like not even lying about it. Just mail it back.
Really?
Yeah, just like that was how open. Like, what are you going to tell somebody? Well, we have 10 clubs in this area.
Wow.
Do you want to work them? And you're like, all right.
That's
So-
insane.
What you
Pay
think
them
about
back.
like what actual corporations do?
Oh,
I
it's-
guess
it's
it's
the
not
same.
nearly as sinister.
It's just a lower class version of it, with people who aren't as didn't go to business school.
No, I love low level criminality.
Yeah, it's the
especially
best.
when it's like just tax shit. Like I don't endorse it, but
I endorse it. I was just thinking the other day. Have you ever seen a bank robber movie where the bank robber wasn't the hero?
good point.
They're always the hero. We're always rooting for the bank robber. Doesn't that say something about how we feel about banks?
Well, it's like, it's like, what do you think of as heroes? Though I mean, I wouldn't say
As
that
the
I
person-
wouldn't say that they're the heroes.
Well, the protagonist for sure.
Yeah.
And anytime someone's robbing a thing, I'm always like, I hope they get away with it. Please, I want them to get away with it.
I do. It does
always
turn me
do.
if they're mean during the robbery. When
Like-
they go in and they're like, "Listen, this isn't your money. It's insured. You
Right.
don't want to fight." I'm like, I like this guy, but like when you
Yes.
just punch the lady right away, I'm like, all right, now you've invoked some wrath. Now the security guard's gonna shoot you, and I'm not gonna
Who's
feel
done
bad.
that?
Some bank robber movies,
Really?
they're
Like which ones?
they're angry at him.
I don't think it exists
They're
in
like
my
shooting
timeline.
people. You're watching. You're not watching. No way. They've always been cool.
If there's a heist movie and I'm on Delta and it's available, I'm watching that shit.
My mom knew a guy. My mom played bingo, and there's a guy that if you win over a certain amount, that's when it goes into like
Oh, right.
taxable. And so
Yeah.
he would have garbage bags of losing lottery tickets that he would sell,
What the fuck?
because then you could prove that you lost more than you won, and so therefore you didn't
God.
profit more into a tax bracket. So yeah, my mom would always keep losing lottery tickets. Like
Your
that's
mom? Your
that's
mom?
that's a level of optimism that, well, if you win,
Yeah.
you need to, if you can prove your losses.
Wow.
Then,
That's a cool mom.
So yeah, so like we always had stacks of the losing lottery tickets, because like if we win, we want to be able to prove that we lost more, so it doesn't bump into that bracket. Like we're not even winning.
When actually,
This is just all the money that we lost. But it's lottery tickets. It's like a few bucks here and there. It wasn't.
yeah,
but
and if you're playing the lotto at all, you've already lost.
I have my opinions about the lottery, but
Which is what
you know what?
It's a safe
I
space.
don't play it, but it's like if that's your prayer. If
Yeah.
that's your $3 prayer every week or $5 prayer,
Yeah, I guess it doesn't hurt.
then you're not hurting, but
Scratchers.
yeah.
Scratchers is the funniest word too.
Oh man, scratch is a big holiday gift around my house.
Fucking
Everybody
You
scratchers.
do that?
Yeah. It's a good gift.
Yeah.
Then maybe somebody wins them. You ever get a fake lottery ticket, a prank lottery ticket?
I don't know that existed.
Yeah. Oh man, I got in a
What?
fight. I got in a fight with
Oh,
my
'cause
mom.
you think you won?
I got in a fight with my mom, and then it was like a realistic amount too. It was like $12,000. So
Oh
it
my
wasn't something
fucking
crazy, like $1 billion.
God.
Like 12. I'm like, fuck this place. I'm fucking out of here. I got it.
Oh
and then the
my
back is like, you can redeem this at my ass or whatever. I'm like,
That is like so sinister. I can't believe I didn't know about
it's
that.
mean. It's straight
Oh,
up
that's
mean.
good.
Like
That
if
is
somebody
really
got
mean.
punched because of that, I'd be like, yeah,
That's like telling some kids like, "Oh, so your dad was in an accident.
yeah. It's
Like, what
not.
happened to him? He's in the hospital. He's dying." It's like,
Yeah, it's not a good prank.
yeah. A friend of mine, my cousin's uncle on the other side, did that to them, and he had to buy them like really cool gifts for a couple years because of that trick.
Because somebody died.
Because he
prank.
he played a prank on the kids about, your uncle Brad, he got in an accident on the way home from work today. So the kids freaked out
Yeah.
because why wouldn't they?
Yeah, because kids
like-
don't understand.
Yeah, Uncle
subtlety.
Denny made a big mistake.
Yeah. Well, the
Saying
guy we
that.
like is hurt.
Yep.
April Fools. What is April Fools?
What do you
I don't
mean?
even remember. I didn't know what April Fools was. My
You
dad's
didn't?
like, "Your hair's on fire." I'm like, "What? Put it out!" And he's like, "Oh God!" Like I could see in that moment, my dad was kind of like, this kid's a lost
So
cause."
both of your parents are really funny, like really goofy like that.
They're like, they have their moments.
That sounds like a lot of.
My mom will
moments.
probably watch this. So,
She
know,
will?
She watches everything.
That's so
she's
cool.
Always, consumes almost if she can find
No
it. She'll consume
way.
it. Do your parents like what you do? Are they proud of you?
My mom likes everything. She might not watch this. I don't know if she's capable of figuring that out.
Yeah.
And my dad is like, I have to basically browbeat him to watching anything.
Yeah.
Like one time, I think he watched something once.
So,
Yeah.
all right.
So
You're eating. Paying your bills.
yeah,
I still get that from my
those
mom.
are questions though.
Yeah, I still get that from my mom. Well,
Yeah.
is it okay? As long as you're making up, like I'm doing all right.
You getting some nibbles?
Yeah. I didn't mean the bills. Bills.
Yeah.
How's
That's
your-
cool they
are you gonna
care.
Yeah, but it's also like you don't want to. It's a made up thing that we're doing. It's not like,
Yeah.
well, I work from 9 to 5, and this is how much I make an hour, or here's the salary. Like it doesn't compute to elsewhere. That like
It doesn't at all.
I know you hear
it's-
from me at like 11 a.m. on a weekday.
Yeah.
And it sounds like that sounds like somebody who doesn't have a lot going on in their
Right.
life.
It's strange how much like I haven't had a normal job in so long that I realize I don't have a complete lack of understanding of how that works now. Like people talking on Slack and stuff. I don't know. I don't think I could ever have a job again because I don't realize, you can't say that at work, the kind of thing, or you can't be like,
Oh.
there's things that you can't do that I think truly like, oh, that's not actually a big thing, is it? They're like,
Yeah.
you can't do that at work. Like,
There's
well.
there's protocol.
Yeah, that kind of.
Do you? I don't think I swear a lot, but it's only like
I swear a lot
in the daytime.
I swear way too much.
Well, no, I swear a lot, but it's like when you don't realize, like, oh, there's just children at this store. I'm like, look at this fucking thing. You're like, no, man,
Yeah.
just come on. Not everything is 9 p.m. Friday,
Yeah.
but I forget that that's how I use language carelessly.
Yeah, I think I.
But in a
forget about it.
workplace, oh, I'd be doomed. Be in HR every day.
I can turn it on, but it hurts. It feels unnatural. It's like I'm playing a character of that guy who's, it's like wearing a giant suit or something like that. Where
Do you ever go the other way where you're like, oh, I've been doing this long enough that it is a day job? Like I'll be in an airport. I'm like, thank God I'm not one of these guys, but then I am one of those guys. Like the guys with like everything's embroidered with their corporate logos on the backpack and the jacket, and they're hyper caffeinated.
Right.
In the morning to go to a business meeting, and they're like, well, this is the portfolio and the graph, and they're talking about that stuff. I'm like, your life sounds like it sucks. But then also I'm like, well, why am I judging? Maybe they're happy about portfolios.
I think maybe they are. I guess there's no way to know.
I could just ask them.
I think I just hate traveling so much now that I can't even imagine being one of those actual business dudes.
I think I'd rather do that than sit in a car for an hour and a half to 2 hours every day.
Yeah,
commuting.
the driving shit is so much of the time. I think that maybe I end up doing what I do just because I just would be dead if I was not doing that.
We wouldn't though. That's like the thing. Like I just have to be an artist. No, you don't.
I don't mean that. I mean I would find something else to do that wasn't. You know what I mean? Like doing the normal grind thing. Like I would rather just be. I don't know, doing something else than if it meant. I don't even know. What
You wouldn't be thrust into middle management.
No, I wouldn't handle that. No, I would fail out of that on purpose.
Meticulous meticulous lawn care. No leaf blowers though.
That would not really work.
Soundless leaf blower.
Yeah, the silent gardener.
Just one big fan. Ooh, the silent gardener. That is a thing, right? Wasn't that he's like an assassin? That
there's
was a movie.
The constant gardener.
Oh. Well, you're kind of that too. You can't stop.
I can't stop. I'm addicted to it.
The constant silent gardener. That's you come with just a big fan to blow the leaves.
Or you summon the power of wind.
Well, that's what a big fan is.
But like it's so big, it's God's fan.
Okay. I mean, you're going like real out there with
I'm
this.
sorry
Just,
about that. Sorry about
realistically, I'm like just a big piece of cardboard you could probably do.
I saw someone mention
or a superpower. There's that too.
piece of cardboard.
Somebody's been in Hollywood a little long.
I get paid to be creative. I saw a guy mention reference God as the tree manufacturer, like a guy who's had an accident with cutting a tree down that almost killed him, and they said like the caption was, "This guy almost got to meet the tree manufacturer." That's like the greatest joke.
Like Cisco Systems, but for all natural entities.
Yeah. God is the tree manufacturer.
Hey, man, we're running low on pandas. Supply chain issues on these pandas.
The tree manufacturer. I laughed at that quite a bit. So, where can people see you?
Oh, God. Do you ever get mad when just random people on the internet are way funnier than you'll ever be? You're like, I hope nobody finds out about this guy.
I love it. But a lot of times I will dig into them and I realize, oh, they're not as funny. They're just good at this one thing.
You had a hit. You had a hit,
and you're milking the hit. But you know what? You're still driving a bulldozer.
There's
a guy for real.
White trash me is like, awesome.
Yeah.
Every day you just crush stuff with a big old tractor.
God, I wish it was that cool. I bet it's like, once you get really good at that bulldozer in 2 weeks, you start to get
I always like driving.
sloppy.
I always like driving a forklift. I always think about the guys that work the cranes that you got to climb up all those stairs. They got to be peeing everywhere in there.
Oh, it's just coated in shit.
They're just jars of piss.
It's like the IRS or the IRA H block, Bobby Sands back in the day. You're Irish, right?
What?
Don't you heroinize that guy? You what's it called when you make someone a hero? You lionize Bobby Sands, right?
No. I was just talking about how much pee there must be in those cranes, and now all of a sudden, what are we
shit?
talking about?
What about shit?
There's shit in there too.
There's
Well,
gotta
so
be.
eventually, yeah, you're not gonna walk. You're not gonna make it down all those stairs.
God, could you imagine the prank though? You're up there and you have a nice, good shit. You put it in like a cup and you attach it to the crane. You like dump it on your boys
Just
down
bring it
there.
down.
Yeah.
Bucket coming down.
Look coming. What's coming? Oh,
Dropping a deuce, literally. Look, guys.
2 months worth of shit.
It's got to be nasty up there. But also, you're just in your own little perch.
I could do that. I bet I could get a crane license. I actually was about to get a forklift operator's license at some point. I thought about that a
Just
couple
for
times.
funsies?
No, because I was
It's a written test.
depressed and work was slow.
Oh,
I
for
thought
like
about
real.
maybe I'll do like an Andy Kaufman thing. Just become a working class guy.
I thought I was gonna roll out here with my forklift certification, being like one up on all these other nerds.
Yeah.
You boys got skills, and nobody gave a fuck.
Really?
Yeah.
No one like in terms of who? Like
Jobs.
Oh, they didn't care.
I was hitting the pavement out here in Burbank and
Really?
Glendale, like walking into
Yeah.
warehouses with a resume, like
They're like, they don't give a fuck.
no, because if they see that you're here from out of town, they know you're gonna try and make it in showbiz. They don't want to hire you
right.
in some 9 to 5
Yeah, you're gonna
job.
disappear. That's interesting. I didn't think about that. Yep.
But if you want to know forklift, you know,
I remember we just
I'll
shot
hook
something
you
in
up.
Burbank years ago, and it was like so. I mean, we've known each other for a long time
yeah.
since I first started.
We hung out I remember you in Aspen when I was bombing
Yeah.
at my big opportunity.
You bombed there?
Yeah.
I was there for work though.
You were there for work.
Yeah.
I was there, and I didn't realize Chris Fleming was a new face, and
Really?
now he's like all over the place and being successful.
So
and I didn't
funny.
even know I
He's
was like
great.
drunk and scared of people when I was there, so I didn't
I
meet
guess, but
anybody.
you had like I remember watching you on Carson Daly because you were the first person that any of us knew to do comedy on TV, and we all sat around and watched it. It was like this big deal.
Oh,
that you
that's
did.
nice.
It was. You remember that? All the Channel 101 people were like, "Oh my god, what was it
Oh,
like, man?" You were like, "Oh, he was." You know, you told everyone about it and stuff like that.
Yeah, and the only reason I got on that is because the audition was going shitty at the Laugh Factory, and so I was
Really?
like, well, I'm not going to do my practice set. I'm just going
Yeah.
to go have fun. And Brian Baldinger was like, "You want to do the show?"
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh yeah." He's like, kind of knew the show wasn't going to be good, so
Right.
like, you're just going to have fun if you do it right. I'm like, I guess, and that's how I got it because I
Yeah.
was not panicked about an audition for once.
And you wore this cool shirt on there that said like Magnum 22 or some shit. It was some weird
Man,
bullet.
I
Remember that
love
shirt?
that was a thrift store shirt from
was a
years, and I
cool
still
shirt.
hung on to it. It's like one of my favorite shirts.
It's a very cool
Yeah,
shirt.
it says like 44 mag, and
Yeah.
then it's got some graphic that doesn't make sense,
But
and
it
it
looked
says
cool.
"Feel lucky, punk."
Yep.
And I don't know what the shirt means at all
Yeah.
because the 44 mag was in puffy letters, like added after the fact.
It was nice.
Thank you.
I got a memory of it. I also, somewhere in one of my hard drives that's probably inaccessible because it's so old,
Yeah.
is a video of you in a very dark, dingy hotel room in Phoenix
Oh no.
chugging a Mickey's 40 before a stand-up show. And you did it in a way where it was like kind of sad because obviously,
Yeah, it sounds like it.
I mean, sad to begin with, just in the description, but you got about 3/4 of the way through, you had to stop and do a huge burp and then finish it. And I remember having this video thinking like, God, this is so fucking funny because it's so dark.
was that one of like the Ron and Ryan shows?
Yeah,
We were
that was
driving
that.
out to like their like
Yeah.
paper airplane or
Forever
something.
ago. I mean, how long ago was that?
That was in the aughts. That was
It
in the
was. That's
single
probably
digits of this. That was in the
2006
single
maybe,
digits of this
2007?
millennium.
God. It's a great video. I got to find it somehow.
I like that we've been friends for this long.
I know. It's crazy.
That's cool, man.
yeah.
I like that you're in movies now. That's
Yeah.
I didn't know where you're going to touch my finger or something.
There you go. Yeah, movies are cool. I want to do more of them.
I just like it's in a moment of sincerity.
Right.
Like when you see somebody that's your friend and you know they're a good person and stuff happens for them, you're like, awesome.
It is cool to feel good about
So-
someone, like to really feel, you know what I mean? Not just like, oh, good job, man.
No. Like you're just ecstatic for him.
when
We were
you
talking about
actually
Sean
feel
Patton
good.
being on a TV show. Like, oh,
Yeah.
that guy is the funniest guy that we all know, and he finally got a thing. Oh, it's happening for some people.
Yeah.
It does work for some of the good people.
Occasionally, and
Just
also,
plain, sorry.
I don't know, everything happens.
But not some like kiss ass,
Yeah.
hustling sociopath that makes up most of the interactions in this town.
That's true. But a lot of those guys do. People get paid. People get what's coming to them a lot of times.
Dark money publicity. We could start spreading rumors, dude.
We were just talking about that earlier about that big old cock that Milton.
Yeah.
I heard they had to bury it separately.
Milton Berle's cock still working.
It's still working. Someone inherited it.
I
They get
tried
carry
to
it
cremate
around.
him. The cock was left.
The album is 32 Bar Blues. You should check out this
Lovely
catalog
jean
sometime.
shirts.
Oh my God, it's the ultimate catalog of all time. Yeah,
I
man.
get those. I get those.
You get that?
I think I was gifted something from there once. Now I get those.
Oh my God, you actually get this catalog?
I think so.
No way. I thought I'm the only person who knows about this.
No, this is some real.
It's so terrible.
This is dad. This is dad. This is single dad.
That's like
Single dad going to karaoke in his early 50s.
that, or like dentist with on his third wife kind of thing.
Ooh,
you
dentist with a Harley.
Dentist with a Harley who goes to every jazz fest,
Yeah.
every blues fest, goes on like the blues cruise with Kenny Wayne Shepherd,
Blues. Oh, the blues cruise.
Joe Bonamassa.
Wow.
Oof.
Dropping them.
Bad.
Is he Joe Bonamassa guitar?
He gets guitar. He wears sunglasses, and it's like a lot
Shredder.
of virtuoso. Like,
But we're not in like the Satriani. We're not in the G5
No.
Satriani.
Satriani's
Steve Vai
kind of aged
era.
out. Satriani's
Yeah, where is he now?
he's still kicking ass out there, I think.
Yeah.
But Bonamassa is respectable, but it's still just a new type of trash. It's just like this fucking wanking, extended, overproduced.
Who's the guy with like the fully neck tattooed,
Oh,
like
I don't
all
know.
black neck tattoo, dark emo hair? He
don't
does
know.
crazy stuff on guitar, but it is like the new
Damn.
era of wankery guitar shredding,
I'm
which
out.
I still love.
I'm out of wank. I don't know.
I like all of it. I like seeing it. I know it's corny, but
I
I'm
like
look
seeing
at
it
what,
too.
yeah.
Because I love making fun of bad music, but at some point it feels like now we're beyond the pale because it's, I don't know.
Everybody likes everything. Everybody appreciates something about everything. If you're looking down on something, now you're the dick. Listen, jet
Yeah.
skis, guitar solos, shredding. Oh, I just wish I could shred.
You can I bet you can shred.
I want to do lessons now.
Just buy a PRS, start wearing super tight leather pants and doing coke in the daytime.
I think the leather pants now it's like the big embroidery butt pocket.
Oh, yeah, the
jeans.
big
like
embroidered
those
butt
guys are wearing
pockets.
the jeans from 10 years ago.
Sort of like a Chris Angel type thing.
That's their shredder outfit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can do it.
I want it.
What are you gonna do the rest of your time here in Los Angeles?
I don't know. I think we gotta go to Target. Rachel dropped me off. We got some errands to run, some
Nice.
Burbank-centric errands.
But
Gonna
you're
go
here
to
for a
the
while.
We're gonna go to the Empire Center.
Oh, the Empire Center. That's a clusterfuck, man.
Hit Lowe's, hit an REI.
If you ever get in a car accident and don't want to report it, just say you parked at the Empire Center and someone hit your car.
Is that the move?
That's what
Is
I
that
did.
exactly what you did?
When did it happen? I don't know.
I was in
When we parked there.
Best Buy,
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it was. Gosh, I don't know when it was.
pricing out home alarm systems in Best Buy, and somebody dinged me.
And I just admitted to fraud.
We can edit.
Yeah.
We can edit what you want. I told
Thanks
you
for
about
being here.
Yeah, I told you about the tax fraud shit. I love it.
Yeah, I think we need to be doing it more.
Low level hustles.
That's what this is for. This is just a
Small time
write-off.
hustles, dark money PR.
That'd be cool. Is that your next album?
Could be.
I always thought you should have an album called Kyle Can Hang, and it's you like on a hang glider. That would have been your first album.
No, I like late in the game.
Yeah, late in the game, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Have a cheesy first album
Yeah.
style name.
Going back to the roots.
Kyle Can Hang.
Yeah.
Kyle's new album, it's a little different. It's a lot of
Sounds
poo-poo jokes.
It's almost like my name.
Right, Kyle Can Hang.
It's a lot about how I am different than women.
Oh, I was thinking more like you can hang like, are we doing shots? Okay. You can hang. Isn't that what that means? I say,
more of a sitcom kind of thing.
but to me, when I say someone can hang, it means they're like, they can keep pace, they're cool. Like, oh, can he hang? Yeah, he can hang.
Oh, but you're talking about early album ideas. That's what I was saying. I'm different. I was going to do men versus women, dogs and cats.
But that's
Dogs and women, cats and men.
That's still now. I think I'm just getting into being able to talk about men and women. I'm just now hitting my phase where I can write jokes like, Man,
like,
my wife does this.
as a premise, guys, I'm just now ready to talk about the differences between men and women. Thanks for being patient.
Well,
with
I just
me.
started watching sports. That's why. I've just become like only the last
Oh yeah,
few
hey
years
go,
I've
hey
become
go
a guy.
Dodgers! Did you enjoy the Dodgers?
I
win
really
last
did,
night?
actually. Yeah.
That's the only game I watched of baseball the whole
Oh.
year, and that's probably why they won.
I mean,
I granted them I gifted them my presents.
there's so many people who love the Dodgers so much who I like. They're so happy. I feel like it's just that. It's like, oh, these people are so happy now
Yeah.
that the Dodgers won. It's like, I feel good because they feel good.
Yeah.
I don't really care about Dodgers. I'm a
Good.
football
I'm
fan.
happy to see people happy.
Yeah, happy to see. Also, I'm happy to see New Yorkers miserable.
More so than normal.
Honestly,
It's nice to
that-
see all the people with face tattoos smiling over there in Echo Park.
Exactly.
in the Chavez Ravine.
yes. Give them something.
That was wild when I moved here. I'm like, oh, they don't just wear hats. They have the
Dude.
tattoos on their faces of
Oh, it's part of the
LA.
whole thing.
Like, I will not fuck with this. I'm not going to, like,
No.
start a joking, like, oh, your team didn't do well. Like, they'll fucking cut you up.
Or they might just be really nice to you because they know that you know that I'll be nice to you because you're not going to do anything because I know that you're a little bitch.
I watched a father. It was Dodgers and Anaheim Angels
Right.
playing at Dodger Stadium, and a dad was like walking his kids with like the Angel stuff on. These Dodger fans like boo, boo, and he's like the dad's like
Yeah.
it's all part of the game. Kids like you fucking suck, and he's like all right guys, all right, come on, like enough.
You got to have a little awareness going there to that section.
Yeah.
That section is not the place to do that.
My buddy, somebody was wearing like a Bulls jersey. Like, what's up with that? He's like, that's not the same sport. It's not
Doesn't
even the same
matter.
sport. They were
Chicago.
mad he was wearing a Bulls jersey.
Yeah, I wore Viking stuff to the Rams game.
Yeah.
Totally fine. So many Vikings fans, so many.
Well, yeah, it's a transplant city, so you're
Right.
always gonna get most of
Also,
those.
the Rams are like, hey, we've always been here. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
No,
they-
you haven't.
Yeah, they
no
were.
One, no one. Everyone who likes the Rams is over 60. They're all ancient. None of you are actually. The Rams are trying so hard to be like, yeah, we're LA, baby. It's like, no, you're not.
Not yet.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
They have all this stuff. It's like doing like the LA thing. Like, oh, it's so.
They got to start new.
It's gross.
Mom's
It's
new
really,
boyfriend.
It's
Really
it's
trying to win
very
you over.
Mom's new boyfriend. Hey, I've always been your dad. Hey, isn't it like I've always been your dad? Hey.
I don't know. Christmas better look pretty great this year
Yeah.
if that's what you want.
Oh, they're trying so fucking hard. I feel bad for them. They did win though, but on a bogus call. So,
I don't know what that means.
yeah. Well, I'll teach you. I'll
right,
teach you.
thanks.
Kyle Kinane, it's been a pleasure.
Thanks for
We'll
having
extend
me,
it. This is
John.
just the recorded version of it. A recorded hang,
Gonna roll video now.
dude.
Oh, I thought it was like a bad fart, but it's a scary door. Halloween, Dodgers won. What a good lineup. Wow.
Okay, we did it.
Closing it out with this low rent.
Exactly.
low
Low rent.
rent Reggie Watts.
That's not even low rent. That's the worst thing ever.
It's the name of my album is Low Rent Reggie Watts.